Now at 6, uniting for Venezuela from South Florida to South America and Europe. Venezuelans take to the streets worldwide calling for an end to Nicolas Maduro's presidency. Good evening, I'm Johnny Archer. Thank you for joining us. More than 70 cities participated in today's protest, one of them happening in Doral. That's where we find NBC6 reporter Arlene Bornstein live tonight. Arlene.
Good evening, Johnny. I can tell you from speaking to the Venezuelan people all day here in South Florida, they are energized and passionate about this new movement. I want to show you what's going on here at City Place in Doral. 100 or so people gathered here for this later evening protest and rally. But I can tell you earlier, we were at another location in Doral where there was probably about 700 people in support of Guaido and against Maduro. Take a look. Freedom, the key word chanted by reinvigorated Venezuelans gathered at Doral City Park.
You can feel it over here. It's just so emotional that you just feel the energy through all your body.
Just one rally of dozens around the world, including this march in Venezuela and others from Chile to Spain, pressuring acting President Nicolas Maduro to step down amid long deteriorating conditions in Venezuela.
Seeing that people are suffering over there and they have no food, no medicine, a lot of people are dying.
But now there's a new hope. A young opposition leader named Juan Guaido turned interim president in January, peacefully prompting nations around the world to recognize him as Venezuela's actual president and bringing new energy to Venezuelans who say they are desperate to see the country get out of an environment of flagrant oppression.
People are starving on the streets, there is no food on the shelves, and it's really sad.
Guaido has received fervent support from the United States, including new oil sanctions redirecting oil revenues away from the government and to the people.
Viva Venezuela!
Members of Congress also moving fast.
I introduced a bill to stop the Venezuelan security forces from buying any kind of weapons, including tear gas and batons. We introduced a bill for $150 million for humanitarian aid.
Maduro's life support has been the Venezuelan military, but what appears to be a new secret recording, a top official of the country's Air Force recognizing Guaido as the president.
Juan Guaido como presidente.
The momentum, a refreshing time for millions of Venezuelan dissidents who say they didn't want to leave their country and believe this time they are on a path to democracy.
Now we see how we have a plan.
And though there were protests for and against Maduro in Venezuela, analysts say that more members of the military could come forward. For now, that's the very latest here live in Doral. Arlene Bornstein, NBC6 News.
Arlene, thank you. And today in Caracas, opposition leader Juan Guaido announced before tens of thousands of cheering supporters that humanitarian assistance will begin to flow within the next few days, despite objections by Maduro. Guaido said the supplies will start entering from the Colombian border. Meanwhile, Nicolas Maduro held his own rally where he proposed holding early elections for the opposition-controlled National Assembly. Elections for the National Assembly are not supposed to take place until 2020. And NBC6 is keeping a close eye on the developments out of Venezuela. Head on over to the NBC6 app and NBC6.com for complete coverage.